Bolarinwa is with us in the studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rotus. Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning. Great to have you here, Lagos. I do remember joining the conversation. Send us messages using the hashtag BusinessExpress981 on Twitter, or send us messages to our WhatsApp number, which is 0809 444 or you can comment on the live stream, which is up on YouTube right now. Go click the subscribe button.
Yes.
Just search for Smooth FM Lagos.
Subscribe. All right. It's nasty out there in the market. So 8 days now of losses. Stock market is down by 0.75% as of yesterday's trading. There is, of course, no trading today since it's a public holiday. 39,040.44 points. So far this year, the market is just up by 2.1%. And we started the year up by 17%. 12 stocks gained yesterday, 42 stocks declined. Consolidated Hallmark Insurance was our top gainer, up by 6.7%. FCMB was our top loser, down by 9%. FX, we're still at 306 naira to the dollar. And speaking of FX, we're continuing with our conversation yesterday, because remember, we talked about with Ugodre and Olamide. Follow-up, the Director of Corporate Communications, Mr. ThisDay, come on now. Why are you saying such things? Well, do you believe that?
I don't completely believe. I think it's an artificial scarcity in the system. The period that we are in, you have a lot of travels during this period. You have pilgrims going for the jihad.
The Mecca thing, the pilgrim,
events, and definitely there's going to be a surge because it's a change in pattern. So there was a normal flow, and you see an increase. I think the response from the CBN may not be completely the best option to consider at this time. There should be an appropriate response in terms of increasing supply to meet the growing demand, because that what has changed is the demand level. And now we are back to accusation here. CBN accusing the banks of not selling, creating scarcity.
Why would a bank not want to sell dollars to people? I mean, why did they bring this up?
Except he wants to keep it in his vault, and truth is, there's a change in market pattern, and the supplier, in this case the CBN, needs to respond accordingly. So looking at the CBN website, what I saw, the pattern I saw there is we saw accretion over a long period of time in terms of the reserves level. Now on the 11th of May, we saw an inflection. So we saw a depletion of the reserve, though marginal, but that shows that the CBN is having to take from what they had in their coffers to meet the market obligation. And the figures in the website of the CBN was last updated May 21st, which suggests to me that in terms of level of depletion, it might have increased down what the market may pursue. The CBN is more to catch up, and at the same time maintain a reserves level that will tell the market that things are still normal. But the truth is, the demand is growing faster, and the supply needs to catch up with it. It may just be for but there's the need for appropriate response, because this kind of conversation, this kind of rhetoric, what it does, it creates panic. You now see people queuing for dollar, and there's a distortion in the system, and they don't know whether the current give room to speculation. That's what
they of course hit back and forced to come to the market to buy 3 times a week. I want to read the paragraph here. It says one of the issues that they're facing, says, for instance, facing difficulties arising from over-regulation and complex documentation requirements that licensed BDCs operators are facing in carrying out just is something else.
And you know, the interesting thing for the BDCs in this whole drama is that they are given a different price when they buy from CBN. The banks are given dollars at a lower price. They are the CBN sells to them at a higher price, which creates different pricing in the system. So those guys are saying we can't be coming for the for to buy dollars every week, 3 times weekly, because the pricing is not reflective of what it should be.
Right.
There's disparity in pricing, and so what that creates is it makes the market more inefficient. So I think what the CBN needs to do, these guys are retail players. The banks are wholesale players. If you are selling to a retail player at them to sell within the banks, it's going to be a total. Those guys are be meeting the retail customers need, but when they don't have supplies, the retail customers would have to depend on
exchange fund. Saudi Arabia, Mr. Trump seems to be standing in Gary. Is that what I told you downstairs? You know, Bolarinwa now said we don't have any Gary to begin with.
Wow.
Bolarinwa, what's going on here? What's happening?
Well, just like if you have someone who is erratic and it works in your favor, you should also position yourself to experience the other side of it, which is the case. Yeah. He tweeted when he saw oil price hovering around 80. What simply would happen is, you know, OPEC has been the major driver of the million barrels per day, and that has been a major factor that has driven oil price significantly up.
And it has helped us.
Within the window of 1 year, we've seen oil price straight from $40 per barrel to $81 per barrel levels. And what we are gradually seeing is it's going back.
Right.
To
back
down. And you know, our regulator, our policy maker, have also perceived that oil price will continue to $100 per barrel. So you've seen the National Assembly change
the benchmark rate of the budgets, right?
to over $50 per barrel. Right. From I think about $45 per barrel that was used in the budget preparation. What I expect the executive to do at this time that the budget has been sent to them is to take a second look at what our legislators have done and review downwards. Because the truth is, with this new position by Saudi Arabia in terms of what they are going to do next, it's going to impact negatively on us. Right. Number one, we have not ramped up production to the levels that we are going to be able to mitigate a sharp drop in price. So we need to take a position in terms of what we use in our budget preparation so that we can, with that,
right.
That is not into account projection. What we simply have is the budget would there will be a sharp disparity between expected revenues and actual revenues at the end of the day. The truth is, Saudi Arabia is going to dance to the tune of the US as they take position now, and that implies that we will see oil price going lower and maybe settling for maybe between $55 per barrel to about probably 60 as the new floor.
All right, we've got quite a few messages that have come through since this morning. We've got Gbenga Kamu who sends in a few. He says, first of all, why is the CBN so interested in following this route of monitoring how Forex is exchanged at the BDCs and banks? Is there no better way to free the currency? He also says, will the capital market rebound after this bearish run? CBN selling at the same price to BDCs and banks. Do banks sell Forex over the counter without endless documentation?
Benga, I don't know. As a CBN, I don't know. As far as the capital market, but I don't know. At some points, bargain hunting should begin now, right?
It will, but I don't think it's going to be, the impact will be that major because what we've seen is we've seen a lot of FPIs.
Foreign portfolio investors they're leaving.
Check out.
Yeah.
All right. Still more messages. Yinka also sends in a few saying, first of all, let's save ourselves this wahala and just make our legal tender dollar. Should be that straightforward. And then he says, well, honestly, I don't know how hard it is for Nigeria to respect simple economic theories. What business has CBN got pumping out dollars to the market? It's not normal. Banks shouldn't be doing this, in my opinion, I think. Or banks should be doing this, in my opinion. The market is good. I manufacture and export, then get paid in dollars. I save such earned dollars in my DOM account, my bank, not my bank account in CBN. And then many more people do this, and the banks have lots of dollars that other business owners can approach the same banks for to do their own business, and the cycle continues. How hard is it for us to respect this?
Yinka, you're speaking my mind.
Henry Manuel says this happens when you want to do the market's job for itself on WhatsApp. He says create incentives, but expect people not to act accordingly. Please, let's not give too much to Trump. Alexander Novak of Russia raised the issue of retreat and cuts in the last meeting. Hashtag never Trumper.
Let us be prepared. Only 30 seconds, yeah?
Yep, and you still got one more message.
Okay, more messages.
From the Rainmaker who says, Rotus, you're asking why banks don't want to sell. Here's the layman's answer. To make more money. It's a form of round tripping. They prefer to sell to Mohammed, who will see in the corner for a better margin. Wow, guys. We took it there. And Cruz says, in summary, so we should just expect another semi-recession, because now the only thing
messages, I love your messages. You guys are the best. Well, that's all we have time for.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the holiday. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to the gym after this show.
Okay, I'm just switching off your mic now.
I'm on my way.
I'm coming up next. This Frank speaking with Wina Folabi, and then freshly pressed at 7:30. Good morning.
Yeah.